OpenClaw and Hermes, the two AI agent platforms you can actually deploy as your personal AI assistant. Both blew up this year, both are top 3 most used, but under the hood, they are built on completely different bets. So, which one should you pick? 5 technical dimensions, 1 verdict. Let's get started. OpenClaw is a Node.js gateway, a control plane that owns sessions, routing, and channel integrations with a separate agent runtime for the actual AI loop. One curl command, 5 minutes, you're live. Hermes is a Python framework, 3 tiers. The interface you talk to, the agent core that thinks, and the execution backend that runs the work. Both run locally. Both work with cloud or local language models. The difference is what each one fundamentally is. OpenClaw is a hub, Hermes is a stack. Memory is where they really part ways. By design philosophy, Hermes is memory first. Every CLI session, every message ever sent lives in a local SQLite database with full text search baked in. Ask it about something from 3 weeks ago, it runs a local query. OpenClaw is memory layered. Session transcripts go to JSON-L files. Memory facts go to Markdown files. There's a separate SQLite index for semantic search. More powerful but more moving parts. Both can recall fast for the right query. But Hermes was built to remember by default. OpenClaw needs to be configured too. Now, when your agent runs a shell command, where does it actually run? Hermes ships 6 execution backends out of the box. Local, Docker, SSH, Modal, Daytona, and Singularity. Pick one. The agent's tool calls run inside that boundary. OpenClaw has sandboxing too, Docker containers, configurable per session or agent, but it ships with one backend. And it's off by default, so Hermes has more isolation options and turns them on by default. OpenClaw makes you opt in. If safety matters, Hermes wins on defaults. Both are seriously backed. OpenAI behind OpenClaw, Paradigm and A16Z behind the Hermes. Both NVIDIA partners. These aren't toy projects. And about plugging it into your stack. OpenClaw's answer is ClawHub, 44,000 community-built skills, the largest agent marketplace that exists today. Hermes has a skills hub too, but a much smaller one, around 600 skills, with 70 of them built into Hermes itself. The interesting part is the security model. Every Hermes community skill is scanned before listing. Data exfiltration, prompt injection, malicious payloads. ClawHub is open by default. The bet is different. Hermes is curated, OpenClaw is huge. If you need scale, OpenClaw wins. If you need defaults, you can trust Hermes. And about those 44,000 strangers on ClawHub, a security firm called Koi read the code of every single skill. Out of 2,857, 341 were malicious. 335 of those traced to one campaign, ClawHavoc, installing a real piece of macOS malware called the Atomic Stealer. On top of that, OpenClaw patched a critical security flaw, CVE 2026-25253, 8.8 severity, one-click remote code execution by stealing an authentication token. Hermes has 0 reported vulnerabilities so far, but both platforms are month-old. 0 is not the same as proven. Okay, so where does that leave us? Stack, call it a tie. Memory goes to Hermes, isolation goes to Hermes, ecosystem goes to OpenClaw, security goes to Hermes. But honestly, the scoreboard is the wrong way to look at this. The right question is, what are you actually building? So, here it is. Use OpenClaw when you need to wire your agent into Discord, Slack, Telegram, and the dozens of other apps your team already uses. The ecosystem is the moat. Use Hermes when fast session recall matters, when you need real sandboxing around what your agent does, or when you want it to actually learn from each task. And honestly, A lot of teams end up using both. They talk over a shared protocol, but one important note, both of these are personal AI assistants, not for customer facing. The moment a stranger can type prompts at your agent, you open the door to prompt injection, data leaks, manipulation. For customer facing AI, use purpose built platforms like YourGPT, the best AI agent platform for customer support, or Zendesk AI or HubSpot AI. They're hardened for that job.
That's it for today's video of Kernelcast. Stay tuned for more.